Whoa, it's the Illusion reporting from somewhere on Spaceship Earth. I thought I would send a message to my viewers and friends and people I know on the East Coast. Just sending some high frequency energy in your direction. And you know, I think natural disasters illustrate exactly how razor thin society is, and that the man is not coming to back you up, and that half of what we got to do as the high frequency tribe is transcend this belief that the government has anything to do with our safety and preparedness and looking out for one another. When the system crashes, they're completely overwhelmed and useless. I mean, I can speak to this personally. I've been in the epicenter of a number of large earthquakes here on the West Coast. The Bay Series quake in '89 and Northridge in '94. And I've also had my entire community burned down in a natural disaster known as a fire. But I guess what I really wanted to talk about was, I think this needs to be a wake-up call to everybody out there that the first thing you really need to do, besides taking responsibility for your own energy field, is get to know your neighbors. It's really important to know who your neighbors are, because if something should happen, it's important to know who is the family with the autistic children that might need some assistance. Where do the senior citizens in your community live, and who are they? Because when the system crashes and the lights go out and everything begins to run out, these are the people that the strong are supposed to look out for. That's what a hero is supposed to do. A hero is supposed to go to the handicapped, to the elderly, to the infirm, and offer them assistance in a time of distress. A hero is not someone who's going and knocking someone's teeth out at a gas station trying to get fuel for a car that shouldn't be moving in a natural disaster situation. And this is not me telling anyone how they're supposed to operate in a natural disaster. I just know from personal experience that when something like that happens, your number one move is to not do anything. Just stay. If you're in a safe home, just stay home. Don't be driving around. Don't be flipping on a bunch of lights and making a bunch of phone calls, because that just causes the system to explode. And that causes it to be worse than it really needs to be. In a state of disaster and calamity, secure your own person, take care of your family, and then if you can, begin to reach out to your neighbors in your community and look after those who might not be as fortunate as you. I mean, we see this all the time in the news and articles about people who have stepped out of their own personal comfort zone and offered up what they have to the betterment of people who don't have the necessary things. And those are usually people that are living on a thin existence as it is. Like, you know, some senior on assisted living in your community who's in a wheelchair probably is going to need you to go check them out and make sure they're there. And I think really, again, it just goes to show it's really important to have a supply of canned food and water and toothbrushes and stuff. I got my 5-gallon buckets ready to go with all the essentials to last me, you know, a week. Because living in California, at any moment, the whole system could shut down. And what are you going to do? You're going to panic? You're going to run around crazy? Or are you going to go help your neighbors? And that's what I'm all about, is helping my neighbors because that, I think, is the ultimate responsibility of being a positive, high-frequency person, is looking out for your fellow human being and helping someone up when they're down. And, you know, I've spoken with a couple viewers today out there in Jersey and stuff, and just to check in and say hey, and let them know that, you know, they're not alone, because as we know, as we constantly learn in these disasters, the government and the system is the enemy and will encumber any sort of mutual aid from outlying communities. Like, I mean, I'm not even going to get on a political rant about how corrupt and retarded our system is, but our system is irrelevant if we have community. And so if you're not affected by this disaster, it's time to, like, wake up and go and meet your neighbors and go and prepare a little bit of stores for yourself, so that when calamity does head your way, that you're not running around punching people in the face to get, you know, top ramen noodles and, like, half a tank of gas. Like, just, everyone needs to just realize that, like, cars are part of the problem. Yeah, they're very convenient, but that whole thing is like, you got to be ready to use your feet, use your skateboard, use your bikes, and, you know, look out for your neighbors. And on a final note, I sold my first piece of, like, art the other day to a viewer, and this is my latest piece. It's called Gone Fishing, and it's pretty in the now, pretty abstract, black and white, and yeah, it turns out that, like, people are interested in purchasing some of my stuff, so I'm down to sell. I got a PayPal account, and if anybody's curious, this is my the inner vortex, I'm calling this piece. And yeah, I'm just kind of producing a bunch of, like, stuff, man. I'm going outside the box, man. I'm letting it in so I can let it out. Anyway, this is the illusion, just sending high frequency love out to y'all, and rooting for those on the East Coast to a speedy recovery, and reminding everyone to just stay calm and be in the now. Peace.